Welcome to the Waterhorn. We're sitting down today with Miss Krislyn Arthurs and one of her train wrecks, I'll say. Colin, what's your last name, Colin? I never got it.
O'Grady.
Colin Grady. Awesome.
O'Grady.
So you guys are playing Battle of the Bands tonight.
Yes, we are.
O'Grady.
Grady.
Not just Grady.
I only heard Grady. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So you're playing Battle of the Bands tonight. What's it feel like to be at the Tumbleweed vying for a chance to play at Calf Fry?
Pretty exciting. I was coming to Calf Fry since I was 18 years old, and I haven't been since I got out of high school and got out of college. And it's always been a dream to just play even in the venue. But if it works out and we can make it to the main stage on Calf Fry, that will be incredible.
So you've played here before, but this is your first full band show on the Tumbleweed stage, correct?
Yes, I've actually played here in Tremors several times.
Yeah.
So, and then I was here for Calf Fry Christmas on the acoustic stage.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
And the first time we saw you, it was or the first time you were on, I should say.
Jamming at the Weed.
Jamming at the Weed, is that what
It
that
was.
For? Okay.
Yep. I got to be a part of that the first year, and then I took a year off because I had some other dates lined up when they I just had my brain went when they had the next year, and then I played last year, I think, and then I'm not on it this year.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been playing together? I know a lot of people put together a band just for this, but I know some bands come in playing together for a long time. So how long have you guys been together?
We've kind of got a little bit of a stair step. So Colin has been with me for almost a year. Steve has been with me for 2.5 years. He plays bass for us. Dylan Murch, he played steel for us for 2.5 years, but he had to step back. And now we have Mr. John Moody, who we brought on at the beginning of this year. So we're excited to have him. And so far, it's been a pretty good year.
That's awesome. Where all have you guys gotten to play in this past year?
Just since January.
I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about a full year. I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Mine can wait. Trust me, mine can wait.
Last year we played all over. We got to go to 5 new states. We played 75 shows in less than 8 months. We went to Nashville. I took the band out to Nashville, and we got to do a showcase out there. And
That's awesome.
They got to experience good old Broadway for the first time.
Yeah, every single night.
And then
Colin's like, we couldn't have one night. Where we just
Oh, no, I love Broadway. It was awesome.
he's like, "Are we gonna go to Broadway?" I was like, "Can we go somewhere other than Broadway?"
But, yeah, I think one of my favorites has been, I know the guys before us were talking about the Rhinestone in Fort Worth. That was a really fun show.
It was.
Hays, Kansas was a fun one at the Fox.
Yep.
But-
Bucks was fun too.
Yeah.
Bucks in Nebraska.
Except for the bathroom in Bucks. You can ask Steve over there. It's just, the stall's probably about, I don't know, 2 foot wide.
Needs the
It feels
chest,
like-
baby.
Yeah, it's just not fun. It's not a well-lit situation either. So if you ever find yourself in Bucks in Omaha, Nebraska, or Waterloo or whatever it is, maybe use the bathroom before you go in.
And definitely don't try to go in the green room.
Yeah.
The toilet's taped. No, those have been some of our funnest. It's always nice when the crowd is real involved too, but getting to go to all those 5 new states. We went to Arkansas too, and we got to play an 80s theme night.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was awesome. Everybody was in costumes. They were dancing. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, we got to do a lot of cool stuff, and looking forward to 2025.
That's awesome.
How are you guys feeling going into tonight? First night of the Battle of the Bands. Nerves,
Mr. Drummer?
excitement.
I'm feeling pretty confident. I just started back in last April, gigging with Krislyn. She found me on Facebook Marketplace. That's the
We'll
first
keep
time.
that PG.
That's the first time I've gigged ever. So, first few shows you get so nervous. Which my mom's here, but my mom comes to all my shows. Shout out to my mom. But I would never like sit down in the green room if we had a green room or sit with the band. I'd be up pacing, walking around, everything.
We'd always be like, "Where's Colin?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is he in the bathroom or what?"
So,
I was just pacing again.
So the nerves don't get as bad, but it's kind of turned into more excitement. So, and then if nothing else, we get free ticket to come in here and listen to some other good live music for these other bands. So, but no, I feel good about it, and I'm pretty excited to go out and play. So.
Have you done any research on the other bands, or is it just like you trying to block it out? Are you not trying?
Well, I think for us, we've kind of been in this circuit for. I've been doing the music scene for about 10 years, so I've come across a few of them. All Town, you guys were just in here with them. Yeah. I've known Lane and those guys for a long, long time, since Wyatt Wilson was playing with Lane, with the Lane Haas band. So I feel like everybody is kind of unique in their own way. So I haven't really wanted to go and size up the competition. Ultimately, it just comes down to we're given an opportunity to get our band out there and hopefully open up opportunities for more shows or make new fans. And even if we don't make it through this first night, our career doesn't stop here. And eventually we will get on the Calf Fry stage. But we're feeling pretty confident. They work real hard for me, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to kind of have my back and be here with me. So.
And I'm sure, like, you guys going to Nashville, going all across the country to go play 75 shows. I'm sure that gives you guys kind of an upper hand in a lot of instances, because you guys have played it in front of a lot of different crowds as well. And you guys have a lot more experience, I'm sure, than some other bands that might be playing, not even just tonight, but down the road as well.
They probably have a little bit more time to practice than we do. Sometimes it's like, hey, we're going to add this song. Let's just go wing it in the green room really quick. And then we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't play that one. But it's just a lot of trial and error. Like I said, they probably have a little bit more practice time to get a little bit tighter, but we'll get there.
It's definitely gotten tighter as just from the time I've been here. I started back in April till now.
Yeah.
Just, you get used to how you can play off of other people in the band and things like that. Yeah. So it is hard to get a practice in, because we're in like all four corners of the state. But
everybody's got jobs and kids and just life, man. And I'm like, hey, y'all, just kind of learn these songs and we'll see how they go. Learn them like the record, and then we'll change them if we need to. So.
But I think it's definitely tightened up, and I think we're pretty tight.
So, speaking of playing songs, what 3 are you going to be putting out there tonight?
3 or 5?
Is it 3 or 5? I thought it was 3.
I think it's 5. We have 5 in the set list.
Okay.
I thought it was 3.
I thought it was 3 too.
But
they could have changed it.
Well, we brought 5 just in case.
You just play 5.
Just keep playing after they're like trying to get you to stop.
We're really organized.
We are.
Tell.
Yeah.
I promise I'm a professional.
Well, what 5 do you have planned right now?
We have 2 covers planned, and we have the 3 originals. What is it? Honky Tonk PhD. We're doing 3 unreleased originals.
Okay.
Other than The Judge is released, but we play it with the full band, of course. Out on streaming platforms, it's just acoustic, but we've got The Judge, Double Wide, and
then Honky Tonk.
Yep.
Which we worked up in a green room right before a show.
Nice.
A couple months back.
Yep.
Nice.
And it's been a pretty big crowd pleaser. I was really kind of shocked, because when you kind of write it, you're like, meh. And I don't like a lot of those laid back songs. We like to be kind of punchy. I would say something else, but I don't want you to have to edit that. But
thank you for saving our ad revenue.
But I try to keep it to where it could be crowd pleasing for the older generation, the younger generation, and I'm a certified college dropout. So
where from? OSU or?
Nah, I went to NOC. No other choice is what people call it.
Oh yeah.
NOC Enid. No, it's a great school. I just was very poor. and living off of my student loans. So
What were you going for before you decided to?
I was actually going to be a dental hygienist and
Oh,
then
really?
hopefully eventually go on to be a dentist. I was a dental assistant for 12 years, and in March, I missed out on some really big career-changing opportunities because I was working full-time. And 2 weeks later, I turned in my 2 weeks notice and went full all into music, so I don't miss anything ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can kind of relate to that because I feel like we feel like we've missed some opportunities along the way because of just stuff getting in the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And
I mean, if you're not full time, there's always going to be, things you miss out on, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But it sure is nice to have a steady income to pay the bills.
that's true.
yeah,
That's very true.
rather than the zero income from the
Yeah.
the ad revenue.
Yeah, the non-existent ad revenue I just referenced a minute ago.
Yeah.
You said Honky Tonk PhD. It made me think of, this is off topic, but it made me think of Working Man's PhD by Aaron Tippin, which is a great song. Are there some influences that are key in you guys? I'm sure they're different, but growing up, is there somebody you listened to that made a big impact on you, or even more recently?
Well, Krislyn writes all the songs, so whoever influences her, that's what kind of influences our music. But me personally, as a drummer, like a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Yeah.
Chad
Okay.
Smith is one of them. Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters, which is funny because we play country music, but Krislyn likes to call it punky country, so it's kind of got a little rock feel
Yeah.
to it. But guys like that, and then I mentioned my mom again had Aerosmith's 16 greatest hits I've been listening to or whatever since I was like 5 years old, stuff like that. But as far as our music goes, that's really all Krislyn. So we just have to show up and play pretty much. She does all the hard work as far as that goes.
But I feel like you add like a lot of those key elements of like developing our sound, because I wouldn't be able to develop my sound if I didn't have these guys that kind of get the vision and kind of infuse their own artistry too. So I kind of like to give the guys a little bit of free reign, especially on our unreleased originals. Because before I found like a good band, I used studio players. So the guys that played on a lot of my music, Corey Kent's band, back when they were all still together, they all play on all of my singles and things that I have out. But I feel like I'm in a good spot now that the band that I have, I can take into the studio with me and trust that the product's going to come out how we've been, really working. And it'd be nice to do, cut songs in the studio that we're playing live anyways. So
Right.
I was greatly influenced by Paramore and Miranda Lambert.
Two very similar
Gretchen
artists.
Wilson.
Yeah.
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 So Loretta Lynn, her songwriting is amazing. She was singing about things that women in country music weren't allowed to be singing about back in the day.
Yeah.
So, and when I started in Oklahoma, there weren't a lot of females out there doing much. And, we've had to climb a bunch of mountains, and it's so cool to see so many females now coming out and trying to put a band together. And like Emily Hollingshed, she's incredible. I'm super proud of everything she's been doing, just in her short time of putting her career together. And Adara Kay, she's a good friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, but her and I were just kind of really the only two out with a band and really pushing to kind of get into this, like in with the boys. And, we all were starting with Josh Malloy and Trent. And, it's just been a real big grind, and it's cool to see just like the little success moments, like finally opening up and all those doors that we've been beating on for so long. So
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the other day, like, because I was just editing we just put out another episode with Emily like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And when I was editing it, I was thinking back, like, the first time we had her on, which was basically a year ago, that's kind of when she started. With the
put
Battle
her
of the
band
Bands is
together,
kind of when
yep.
she got everything going. And it seems like she's really, progressed a lot in the last year. And so it's really cool to see. You may not, it's like you don't see it while it's happening, but if you look back, you can be like, oh, look at this growth,
and
that you've seen.
she is a hard worker, and it's hard to this industry itself is hard. Booking is a full-time job, content is a full-time job. Just getting to your dates and things like that's all a lot of hard work. And I will say she's a super hard worker, and I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. One thing I was going to bring up, it wasn't too long ago, I don't think, but you were playing, I think it was like at a family function, and you got struck by lightning or nearly struck by lightning.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that experience, playing and then almost getting struck by lightning?
Okay. So I was never really like scared of storms, and I have a whole new respect for a thunderstorm. I was actually at my cousin's. Her family does like a big annual fish fry, and we were all just hanging out, and it was sunny, and then all of a sudden, here comes these big old thunderheads, and thunder was coming in, and we were like, well, just a little rain, you know?
Yeah,
Little
whatever.
rain never hurt anybody. And I was like, I'm not canceling. I don't cancel for anything. Like, I'll be puking over in the trash can, but I'm still going to play. And so we had everything underneath, and we had some canopies over where they were cooking, and then we had like 4 stations of everybody cooking. And their family owned like porta potties that they rent out and things like that. And all of a sudden, I'm like playing a song. I started playing 2 songs about rain. I was playing Thunder Rolls, Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks, just being funny. And then somebody was like, we want to hear Carrie Underwood. So I was in the middle of singing some Carrie Underwood. And the video's on my Instagram and my TikTok if you guys actually want to see like the lightning strike on video. But all of a sudden, it was just like this big flash of light, and I thought it had hit right behind me because I was right on the edge of this metal building. And like the hair on my arms and my head was standing up, and I was just like frozen because like when it struck, it hit so hard that it like I could feel the pressure in my chest. And I literally thought I got struck, but I was like looking straight ahead where they were all cooking the fish. And all of a sudden I don't see my dad anymore because my dad was standing right in front of me. I don't see my dad anymore, and I don't see my cousin's dad anymore. And I look up, and there's 5 people laying on the ground, and I'm like, what the just happened?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to process it. And 5 people got struck by lightning that had hit the back of a building, hit the ground wire where the canopy was sitting on top of, and they had the metal cookers. And when they had their hand on the metal cooker, and my cousin's dad had his hand on the metal canopy, it caused them to be hit.
Wow.
So it was the most intense, scariest thing ever. So if there is any chance of a lightning storm or thunderstorm, in my contract it literally says we are not playing, because I almost saw 5 people die. So I was like, no.
Just curious, and I think we may have talked about this after the podcast last time. Your cousin is it Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hickey.
So she's dating my cousin. Actually.
Yes.
So
that's how we know each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jagger and I are cousins.
Yeah. So through that cousin too. So so little small world there.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that in 2 places on like my feed of people that of you sharing it and then her sharing it too, and I was like, that's crazy.
It was literally the most traumatic thing I'd ever experienced. And when I told my husband about it, by the way, if anything ever happens out in that neck of the woods, y'all better just load me up in a truck bed, because I'd probably die before the ambulance gets there. But anyways, I was telling my husband, I said, oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe this, but like lightning struck where we were. And he's like, well, why the hell were you outside in the thunderstorm? And I said, no, everybody was under something or in a canopy or something. And I was explaining it to him, and he's like, and then I showed him the video. He goes, holy crap, I thought you were standing outside and on the middle of it. And I was like, no.
Wow.
I thought I was going to have to find a new band. Krislyn just got struck by lightning. Well, I guess it was fun.
he was like, he just
on
opens up
LinkedIn.
Facebook and he just puts out a new ad on Marketplace.
Yeah, back to Facebook.
Yeah. No, I had actually like in the middle of all that, when everybody was safe and, recovering, I texted my band the next day and I was like, y'all are not going to believe this. And they're like, what? And I said, 5 people got struck by lightning at the little party I was at. And they're like, no freaking way. Because they were supposed to come with me. Like, we were supposed to have a full band time. And last minute, the family, they changed their mind. They're like, let's just do acoustic this time. And I'm so glad that we did not have all of our equipment and all of them off. Because, he's sitting there playing on a full metal kit.
Yeah.
And guitars are all metal, and if anybody put their mouth on that, and I had just pulled my mouth away from the mic when that lightning struck, so I was like, well, I probably would have had some fried lips if if that would have happened.
You're like, some people got struck by lightning, but we have a really good TikTok video.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Content.
It was crazy because they were just sitting there videoing, and you can hear, it was just like the brightest flash of light, and it was just so crazy to explain, like, the pressure, and it felt like they put you in a barrel of water and just like submerged you down. Like, that's what the pressure felt like.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is wild.
My final little thing here is very important, so pay close attention here.
Okay.
So we have a segment on our show, and it's this brand currently because we don't have a sponsor for it. So if anyone out there would like to sponsor this segment, feel free. But what is your Taco Bell order when you guys drive through a Taco Bell after a show?
We've got that. Was that Bentonville when we went to Taco Bell, and it took a while to order, and I think we got none of the stuff in the bag was our food. And it was after you just got off the phone with the people from the hotel too.
Yep. We were trying to find a place to stay because we had a 5-hour drive, and then we were playing for the at the college. Yeah, we were playing at the college before the game, and we were trying to find somewhere to stay in Tulsa, and we were freaking famished because a lot of times when you play venues, they don't feed you. Just kidding. And Steve's favorite is Taco Bell. He's over there like, I particularly like a Crunch Wrap with no lettuce.
Yeah, I'm not big on lettuce either. I usually just get
Crunchy water?
3 or 4.
Yeah, crunchy water.
3 or 4 tacos. I like soft tacos. Get a little, the chips and cheese, so I have something to dip my tacos in.
Yeah.
And then maybe some cinnamon twists if I'm feeling a little froggy. But other than that,
oh, Steve likes the taco pizza, but he wants
the Mexican pizza. That's crazy.
Extra sour cream. Just kidding. He's like, they put sour cream on this.
No Cinnabons?
Oh, they have Cinnabons?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a
I
big
think I maybe
sweet
had
tooth.
them once.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
The Cinna-Sticks?
No.
Aren't they filled with like the icing?
Yeah.
When I think of Cinnabon, I think of like a cinnamon roll.
Yeah,
Am
just
I
like
wrong in
it's
thinking
like a
Mhm.
Cinnabon bite as well.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then they
Okay.
put some filling in there.
I'm guilty. If I'm going to Taco Bell, I'm going to eat some tacos. I don't have a big sweet tooth unless Trina brought me some fruit roll-ups today. They're going home with me.
I was gonna say Trina's on it with the snacks out there, the little table
so
there.
good at it.
I'm surprised we have no nacho fries either. I'm a big nacho fry guy.
Yeah,
You like nacho
they
fries?
keep taking them off and putting them back on the menu.
Yeah, I know.
You got to catch them right at the right time.
Yeah.
If I'm doing fast food, I particularly want Chick-fil-A.
I
want the
can
pimento
get that.
cheese sandwich that they
Oh,
only
yeah.
do seasonal.
That was good with the jalapenos.
I don't do jalapenos because I'll breathe fire. But I'm particularly keen of that pimento honey chicken sandwich.
Krislyn's actually really great at picking where we eat before we play. We were in Amarillo, Texas, and we go to a hook and reel or something.
Yeah.
Like Cajun food.
Oh,
I-
Krislyn is just like wiped. None of us like seafood anyways or anything like that. And so we go there, and Krislyn gets this huge, whatever, gumbo, some type of thing.
It's a seafood bowl.
Yeah, and she's completely wiped out before, like, sitting in the green room, can't hardly move or
Oh,
anything.
God.
And we're just like, why did we go eat Cajun
And everybody
food
else
before
is
we play?
eating chicken nuggets.
I didn't get chicken. Our steel player he's a grown man, got chicken strips, but
I knew he was a chicken strip kid.
Have you ever had boudin?
Yes.
So your cousin made boudin one time, and it's very good. Very good. If you've never had it.
She was in Louisiana for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's why I told her, I said, when you go back to Louisiana, you better take me. I want to go. My big dream is I want to go on a gator hunt so bad. And when we went to the Ozarks in Missouri this year, they had a full cooked gator, but we kind of got the tail end of it. So we didn't get to really eat much of it. But that is, if anybody wants to take me on a trip, I would love to go hunt a gator in Louisiana. So just shooting my shot here.
Yeah.
What are you guys' social medias? You want to plug those real quick? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You on all that? Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't like the look you just gave when we.
It's my backup plan for if TikTok goes down again.
Okay.
Okay, so Krislyn Arthurs music is most of like where you can find all of our music and whatnot. I think a lot of the guys have their own personal pages, but for all of our music and show dates and whatnot, it's Krislyn Arthurs music or just Krislyn Arthurs.
Okay.
I have a website too.
That's simple enough.
We'll
link it all in the description also. So.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I think it's like Colin.O'Grady for Instagram.
Okay.
And TikTok. It's either O'Grady Colin or Colin O'Grady.
You better Google it, make sure.
You can find it. 2 L's. So a lot of people like to spell it with the 1.
But here's the thing is y'all can't go poach my drummer.
Colin's like, it depends. It depends on the
Well,
check.
if she gets struck by lightning again, let me know. Just send me a DM.
Technically, lightning's not supposed to strike twice, right?
Just don't play
Technically, it didn't
outside. We'll have to
strike
find
me.
out.
That's why
Yeah.
I said no chance of storms. We're not doing it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for coming on. We're
Thanks
looking
for
forward to
having us.
seeing you guys tonight.
Yeah.